new set, and you know what? We're gonna get through with this right now. On Poke Beach, they got up all the Japanese skins. We're gonna review the set. We're gonna see, is it good or is it bad? It's not bad. It's arguably one of the best sets we've ever had. Like, there's so many good stuff in this set. It's insane. Without further ado, let's get into the set review. Scooby-Doo. No, I'm just joking. We've been bamboozled, guys. Okay, so starting things off, Island's waiting for you. We got your Bellsprout line. Now, this Victory Bell, I actually think might actually be a pretty decent card to use. So, it has this really good attack with Pollen Hazard, 20 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, burned, and confused. Now, obviously, they could retreat, they could use Switch, but that's still good because Victory Bell can do this on its very first turn. You thought Espeon was annoying because it could turn 1 confuse you with energy evolution. This thing with Force of Giant Plants can use this attack on its very first turn. That can be pretty powerful. Now, there are some things that the attack isn't good at. It doesn't do that much damage, only does 20 damage, but you know what? You can use it with Decidueye GX, which might be a little clunky because you're using like a bunch of Stage 2 Pokemon. If you use it with Decidueye, you get extra damage output, and you can use the DCE with Decidueye, and you can use Stick and Absorb if you ever want to. You can do that. You just Pollen Hazard them, and if they can't retreat, you just Stick and Absorb them, and then they actually can't retreat, and then they're stuck being burned, confused, and poisoned. So I actually really do like Victory Bell. This is one of the coolest things ever. We've gotten some good Victory Bells before. But this one I think is definitely one of the best Victory Bells we've ever gotten. I'm really excited for this card. I really want to try it out and see if I can make like a fun strategy. This thing with Dragalge in Expanded also might be pretty powerful. So Victory Bell, it's a pretty good card. Don't sleep on it. And then we got Lilligant, Flower Blizzard, 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, Petal Dance, flip 4 coins, flip 3. It's not that good of a card, just to say that out there. It does have a nice artwork, though, but it's not that good. And then we got Wimpod and then Golly Spot. Golly Spot is a really good card. This is one of the better cards in the set that's not a GX. Basically, it's got an ability for stage 1 where any damage done to it is reduced by 30, so it's like, hey, you know what? You're doing 30 less damage to me, guys. You can't bamboozle me. You can't pull one over on me, boy. And then it has Resolute Claw. For a grass and a DCE, it does 80, and then your opponent's active Pokemon, is it's a GX or an EX, it does 70. So you're going to do 150 damage, and there's a new card in this set that will allow you to do up to 180 damage. That can be pretty powerful. This thing is a really good card. Technically, if you want to say it, it's got 190 HP because of the fact that it's got 160 HP for stage, or 130 HP. Not 190. It's got 130 HP. And then the ability basically just gives it 160 HP. So this is a really good card. And when you pair it with stuff like Assault Vest, and if they have a tool on them, you basically get 200 HP in that regard. So this thing is a really good card. I think it's definitely one of the best non-EXs from this new set. And I can't wait to make a deck on this thing. Then we got Victini. This is like another really good card. Like the good cards just aren't stopping. Victini is basically just like a ability reprint of the Noble Victories one. Once during turn before you attack, after you flip any coins, you may ignore all effects of those coin flips and begin them again. So, yeah, just think about how good this is, okay? This is good. Now, I can't really remember what this would be good with in Standard. Like, I know we just went over, like, a Lilligant, but I don't know what Victini would be used for in Standard, but I'm sure we'll find something out. I can't really remember any coin flippy kind of cards, though. But yeah, this thing is good in Standard. Obviously, it's not really an Expanded, though, because the Fliptini from Noble Victories, it's got a full art, and also, you know, it's already an Expanded, so you don't really need to do this, but this card is still really good, and I'm sure they'll probably, at one point, they'll probably release something in, like, a new set that'll, like, give Victini a lot of, like, hype. And then we have Turtonator GX. This thing is going to be Volcanian's new best friend. This card is nuts. So it's got the attack Trap Shell, 20 damage. If this Pokemon is damaged by an attack during opponent's next turn, place 8 damage counters on that Pokemon. That's like bursting balloon part, like on steroids. Like it's like crazy good. Now, that attack is pretty good. It only does 20, so you're only doing 100 damage at most. But it, you know, with Bursting Balloon, I mean, you could base like 2 different decks on Turtonator. You can use a deck on Crimson Flame, and you can use a deck on Trap Shell. Like, this card is that good. Now, This thing does have a Crimson Flame attack, which for 3 energies does 160, so it does a little more than Steam Up, but you have to discard 2 energies instead of not being able to attack, so you can't use it with Pokemon Ranger. But again, this with Volcanion could be pretty good, because if you need to do that extra 30 bit of damage more than Volcanion to take a knockout, you can use Turtonator, and also, discarding 2 energies isn't that bad when you have Baby Volcanion in the format, so it's really not that bad of a card. Now, it's got a really good GX attack. Nitro Tank GX for a single fire energy. It's like the opposite of Soul Burst. Attach 5 fire energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon any way you like. This with Volcanion is OP. I don't know if you'll be able to pull this off on your first turn so much, because without like Battle Compressor, like you have Ultra Ball, Sycamore, and Scorched Earth and stuff like that, but this thing, like, and Steam Up obviously, so it's possible to pull it off on the first turn. It'll be a little difficult, but if you can get 5 fire energies in your discard pile on your first turn, this thing is going to be OP. You can power up a Volcanion and a half. That is just nuts. And this thing will apply so much pressure early on, it's not even funny. Like, oh, whoops. This card is really, really good. I really do think that this card it's one of the best GXs in the set. Just because it's going to make Volcanion even stronger than it already is. So, Turtonator, I like you. We got Alolan Sandslash. This reminds me of Slurpuff. It's not a bad card. Draw 1 extra card. It's not like Slurpuff where you can draw 2 if it's in your active. It's not that bad, though. If you want to have something to draw cards with, you can run a Sandslash. I know Octillery and Rangaroo in the format, but, Slurpuff wasn't that bad of a card. So, I don't know, maybe Sandslash, Zoroark confirmed. Kappa. Then we got Vulpix, and we got Ninetales GX, but Alola Ninetales GX, not just anyone. So this one is a water type, obviously it's not a fire type, and it's actually okay. It's not the best, but not the worst. It's got Ice Blade for DC, do 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, not too bad, but only 50, it's not knocking out stuff like Rowlet. And then it's got the attack Blizzard Edge for 2 waters and a color, it's just 160, discard 2 energy on this Pokemon. There's a lot of good cards in this set a really good card in this set that's going to make water decks OP. And that new card is Aqua Patch is going to really support Blizzard Edge. The problem with Blizzard Edge is it only does 160 like Lapras, but instead of being able to Ranger and use it again, you have to discard 2 energy. So it's similar to Turtonator. It basically mirrors Turtonator if you think about it. So this card, it's not the greatest. It's not the worst though. It's not like something you can just be like, forget about it. I mean, I don't know if you'll play this in a water box deck. You probably could play like a 1/1 Ninetales or 2/1 Ninetales GX line. It's not a bad card by any means, but I just think Lapras you get more bang for your buck. Its GX attack isn't too bad though. Clear Gate, move all damage counters from this Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's like damage change, but without swapping damage. So this could be a really good GX attack. If they can't knock you out, you Clear Gate them. So, I mean, that definitely makes up for Ninetales GX, because Lapras GX's GX attack isn't that good, to be honest with you. So, you got Clear Gate, which is 50 times better than Blizzard Burn, so I think Ninetales is really good. But again, I don't know if it's true good. I think it's good, but I don't know. We'll see. We got my boy Delibird, really nothing too special. Flip a coin, adventure check for a card. Gotta flip a coin. Hashtag Victini. And then we got Glalie. This card I actually kind of like. Not really, though. Basically, for 3 waters, does 70. If this Pokemon has any damage on it, you do 80 more damage, so you can do 150 with Glalie if you got our damage counter on it, and obviously if you play this with Magma Secret Base and Aqua Patch, you can make some kind of fun deck work. It's not like Gyarados good, but it could be like a funny little rogue deck idea thingamajooter. I think I'll do it for like a fun budget deck type thing. Then we got Vanillite, Vanillish, and my boy Vanillux. We're never going to get a Vanillux as good as one from Roll Victories, but this thing, it's like, it's got 1 for 20 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. Frozen Breath, 80. You may discard 2 waters from this thing. Your opponent's active Pokemon are paralyzed. You can't do that consistently and attach waters every turn. So I don't think this card is that good. Maybe in Expanded, you can do like an Archie's Blastoise Vanillux deck and then like paralyze them every turn. That could be a pretty cool idea, but people rank Keldeo, right? So Vanillux, nothing to write home about. We got my boy Heliolisk. 120 damage, 30 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. I mean, for a stage 1, it is nice to do 120, maybe when Zebstrika rotates out, you can use this as like an Evoltol, or whatever new, Pokemon weak to lightning, becomes big. This card wouldn't be bad as like a counter to that. 3 for 120 isn't that bad. You would have to do 30 to something, but, I mean, if you're using lightning type, you can use Rough Seas, so this card isn't bad, but it's not good. It's, again though, with Choice Band you could do 150. Now we get this one. Oh my god, this is probably my favorite GX of the set. Never mind the other Tapu Lele. Never mind Turtonator. This card I really like. I think this is going to be one of the funnest decks to play. This thing is straight up a donk deck. So what this thing does is it has the ability Arrow Tail. Once during turn before you attack, you may play this card from your hand on your bench. Then you may move any number of land energies attached to your Pokemon to this Pokemon. And then if you do, switch with your active. Max Elixir? Anyone? This card is one of my favorite cards in the entire set. I can't wait to try and use like a donk deck with this, because you can honestly donk someone with this card. You can easily turn one Skyclaw them for 130 and knock something out. I really do like this card. The fact that you can use it with Max Elixir is just so OP. You got Max Elixir to get energy in play, and once you do that, you basically are golden with this card. I really like Tapu Coco. I think it's going to be a really good card. And it's one of my favorite cards from the entire set. Probably my favorite GX card from the set. It's just so good. Like, you can donk someone on the first turn with this thing. Then we got Slowpoke. We got my boy Slowbro. Amnesia. Choose my opponent's attack. Not that good. You know, Endeavor. Psychic and DC. This thing is poisoned or burned. You do 130 damage. It's kind of mad, but this artwork is really cool. It kind of takes you back to, like, the old days of, like, really weird Japanese artwork from, like, the Johto days. It's kind of weird, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like collection promo artwork. I don't know, but yeah, you can see, like, Exeggutor in the background, Lola and Exeggutor. You see, like, Hoppip right there. Like, this artwork's pretty cool. Kind of a nice little throwback. Gothita, Gothorita, my boy Gothitelle, Tractor Beam. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and you do 30 damage to it. You gotta switch it. Not that good of an attack. Link Blast, a Psychic and the colors you do 50. If this Pokemon and your opponent's had Pokemon have the same amount of energy, you can do 130 damage. That's meh. When you're playing against something like Mega Mewtwo Y, they're probably going to have a lot more energy than you will have on, so there's like a huge issue, but you know, you can probably make something work with this. It's not impossible, you know. Not every deck is going to have like a billion energy on it, so, you know, this card isn't too bad, I don't think. It's not competitive or playable, but it could be like a fun idea. Who knows? Machop. Now, it's ironic that Machoke is better than Machamp. Like, Machamp steadily scored 2 fighting, 20. This thing does 80 damage for each prize your opponent took last turn. I mean, it's not that good, because your opponent will probably take 2 prizes at most unless they Articuno you. But, yeah, it's not that good of a card. I mean, you can do 200 damage if, you know, they knock out an EX, but that's if they knock out an EX, right? And then Submission, not that good. Machoke, on the other hand, is really good. Prevent all damage and the placement damage counters from your opponent's attacks and abilities to your bench Pokemon. This thing is going to be in every single deck from now on, because it will count. Whoops. Because it will counter. Okay, sorry about that. I opened something up by accident, but it will counter Decidueye. Decidueye Plume is a very powerful deck right now. Machoke will shut down Decidueye completely. Now, it's only on your benched Pokemon, not your active. But that's still a really good ability to have nonetheless. So, Machoke, definitely a good card. Machamp is also pretty good too. Kind of, not really. Alright, then we move on to Whiscash. This is a really funny card. Landslide. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. It does 100 damage times the number of energy discarded. This will never be good in any shape or form. But if you discard 3 energies, you do 300 damage. So it's kind of funny. Probopass. I don't know where Nosepass was. There it is. But you got Probopass. It's a metal type, stage 1. Metal energy connect, 30 damage, hash energy from your discard pulse Pokemon. But then 4 for 120 with no effects is just yeah, it's not good. It's not good, folks. It's not good. Then we got Clefairy, and my boy Clefable. Lullaby, 20, your opponent's had Pokemon's now asleep. Meteor Mash, a Fairy, and a DC 60, and then does 120 next turn. You're never even going to be able to do 120 next turn because you're going to get knocked out by then. But, hey, you know what? It was worth it. It was worth a shot, Clefable. You tried at least. A for effort. Then we have Comfey. This is a pretty interesting card. As long as this Pokemon is in play, each of your Pokemon with any Fairy energy on it have it, or it can't be affected by special conditions. So that's actually good. Obviously, there's no Hypnotoxic Laser in Standard anymore or anything like that, but maybe if Victory Bell becomes popular, it's not going to be that bad of a card to have. Special, you know, conditions aren't really that big of a deal right now in standard, but still, it's something to use, right? I think most fairy decks will play like a 1/1 of these, so it's not that bad. Then we have Drampa. Now, this card ain't that good. I mean, it's so similar to like Tornadus from Emerging Powers. It's like really similar to Tornadus from Emerging Powers. It's kind of better. It's got more HP, but it's not that good. A mass for 1 energy, search your deck for an energy, attaches Pokemon again. 120, you can put a belt on it, but only 3 colorless for 80, move any energy from this Pokemon on one of your bench Pokemon. I mean, like, you can use it in some situations, like, you can move a double dragon from this thing to, like, a Giratina or something like that. Build it up a little quicker. It's not the worst, it does 80, you can do 90 with a belt, or, like, 110 with a choice band to an EX, but it's really, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this card. It's meh. And then we got Jamango. Damage on this thing is reduced by 10, cool beans. Hakamo. Oh, what the heck? Oh my god, some of these Sun and Moon names, I'm telling you. Then we have another GX, probably the worst GX we've probably ever gotten, if I'm going to be honest with you. Komoko GX. Okay, it's got 240 HP, which is a lot, but its attacks are pretty bad. 1 for 30 and then 30 less damage isn't something to write home about. Shred 4 for 130 is like pretty dreadful. Even with double dragon energy, it's just Giratina is way better because you do 100 and then you have like all these really good effects. So this card isn't that good, but hey, its GX attack is okay. It just straight up does 240 damage, which is kind of cool. You can do 240 damage, which I mean, if you want to take like a huge knockout, there you go. Like, I don't think Dragon decks will play this card, but it's, I guess, something to consider. Chansey. Then we have Blissey. This card is really good. I think this card is actually going to be a pretty popular card in some decks. It's got an ability where once your turn before you attack, when you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, heal 80 from your active. That is OP. Like, you can use this in maybe like Decidueye, like 4/4 Decidueye, and then run like Blissey with Devo Spray. Heal your Decidueye every turn. Like, Blissey is a really, really good card. I like this a lot, and it's got 160 HP for stage 1, which is pretty bulky. Its attack isn't really any good. 160, 80 to itself is pretty bad, but Farm Fresh Eggs is a really powerful ability. Like, heal 80 from your active is nuts, man. That's a lot of damage. It's probably not going to heal all the damage, but when you do multiple Blissies in a turn, you heal 160 in total, which is a ton of damage. Blissey is really good. I like it a lot. Then we got Kalo, got my boy Swellow. Shout out to Yellow Swellow. 1 for 20, flip a coin of heads, Swallow Dry 40. This thing is agility, last turn does 120. I mean, it's not bad. It's a cool idea. I definitely could see someone trying this deck out. I mean, if agility gets lucky, then you can actually do a lot of damage with Swallow Drive, so this card isn't too bad, because you could kind of do that. You could like Choice Bandit, do 1 for 50, they miss the attack, and then you do 1 for 150, and then like knock them out because you already did 50 to them. So Swallow I actually kind of like. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty cool. It's definitely something interesting. And then we have Komola, Certain Sleep. This card is pretty bad. This thing is asleep, and you attach an energy, it's now asleep. Or wait, no, what am I saying? If you put an energy on it, it goes to sleep. Hypno Roll, 3 for 100, but keep in mind it's got 80 HP. It's not going to survive that long. This can only be used if it's asleep. Yeah, it's not that good of a card. It's a funny idea, but it's not that good. And then we're done with the first part of this set. We got Energy Lodo. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. If there's any energy there, choose one, reveal it. This is a good card because it's any energy. You can get DCE and Double Dragon and stuff like that. So I can definitely see this card seen play in decks that rely heavily on DC, like Passimian, and even decks that use Double Dragon, like Darkrai. So then we got Field Blower. This card is insane. It's basically like Tool Scrapper, but even better because you choose up to 2 combination of tools and Stadium. So it's like you can just discard a Stadium and a tool. Like, oh, I'll discard your Parallel City, and I'll discard your Fighting Fairy Belt in your active, or your Floatstone on your Garb. Everyone wanted an answer to Garb in Standard without having to use Beedrill or Minccino. Here we go. We got it. Field Blower is a really good card. And we even get a secret rare version of it. Then we got Hala, which is a pretty cool card because it's kind of like Sycamore in a way, but without having to discard. Shuffling your deck, draw 4 cards. But if you used a GX already, a GX attack already, draw 7 cards instead. This card I can see replacing a lot of things. Like, I don't think it'll replace Sycamore, because Sycamore lets you discard stuff which can be useful. But this card isn't that bad either, right? If you can use a GX attack early on, like Soul Burst, or Turtonator's GX attack, or even like, Lapras or Tauros, for example, you can throw in like a few of these in your deck. So I think this card is actually pretty good. And then, yeah, we got Aether Paradise Conservation Area. Each player's basic grass and lightning Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. When you pair that with that one card that, I forget what it was called. It was that grass Pokemon that, like, let me find it. Let me find it. It's like all the way at the top. Here it is. Yeah, Golispod. Golispod with that stadium basically gives it 190 HP. That's how I was saying 190 HP. And, ooh, spoiling a bit of the other cards. Yeah, we got Full Art Turtonator, Full Art Alolan Ninetales. I like Full Art Turtonator. It looks pretty sick. Try and pull up Full Art Tapu Coco. Again, Tapu Coco is one of my favorite cards in the entire set. I think it's going to be really fun to donk people with Max Elixir. And we got, I mean, it's a cool Pokemon, but it's not that good. I still will probably play like all the GXs and try him out. Then we got a fuller version of this guy. He's pretty sick with the fire in the background. And then, yeah, we got Rainbow Rares. I need to zoom out these. Okay, leave a comment down below. What is your favorite full art of these? Do you like Turtonator, Alolan Ninetales, Tapu Coco, Como OGX? Do you like Hala? Do you like the Rainbow Rares? Rainbow Rares look pretty nice. And then here we go. We get a reprint of Secret Rare Max Potion and Secret Rare Field Blower, and we even get a Secret Rare Light Energy to go now. I still haven't gotten a single Secret Rare Metal or Psychic, but you can combo that nicely with Tapu Coco, right? So, these are pretty good cards. Max Potion Secret Rare is awesome. I personally, though, I'm probably still going to use the Max Potion from Plasma Freeze because I'm a hippie, but this card is still pretty nice. I might even just use this, to be honest with you. It'll still be worth quite a bit of packs, but yeah. And then we got Field Blower Secret Rare, which is really cool. And we go into another set, Moonlight of Alola, a really good set. So we got Trevenant, which is a really good card. It's a grass type, meaning you can use 4 shine plants, and then it needs a DC 30 damage. Your opponent reveals their hand, 30 damage times the number of cards in your opponent's hand, or trainer cards. This with Vileplume is going to be pretty deadly because Force Giant Plants combos nicely with Trevenant already, so I can definitely see Vileplume with Trev being a big thing. So Trevenant, very good card. And we move on here. We got Chandelure, Shady Move. Once your turn for your attack, move a damage counter from either players. But it's once during your turn. It's not really anything too special. It's not like Dusknoir. So it's like meh. If you have multiple in play, it's okay. But for now, it's like mediocre. But then we have Slazzle. This is a pretty cool card. It's a stage 1, and then once you're in turn before you attack, when you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and burned. That's pretty cool because poisoned and burned like that is going to be really nice. It's similar to, Amoonguss from Next Destinies, but this card is like even better, it's got a lot going for it. I think it's pretty good. Actually, yeah, I think Amoonguss might be better because Confusing is really good, but this is also good. Burning and poisoning them, it's not that bad. Tentacool, my boy Tentacruel, Wild Tentacle, 4 damage, flip a coin of heads, does 40 of tails, your opponent's active Pokemon's now paralyzed. I like Tentacruel, it's a really cool Pokemon, but I don't think it's that good. Then we got Wailord, 200 HP, obviously, what would you expect? A lot of them are on like an island too, you notice, like the slow burrow in this now. Dive, 40 damage, and then flip a coin, prevent all damage. Briny, Defs, 80, but then for each water on this thing, heal by 30. That's funny. I think it'll be like a fun deck idea, but I don't think it'll be too competitive. And then we got Alola Malamola. Carry ashore. Choose one basic Pokemon from either player's discard pile, put it in that player's bench. Meh. You can put a Shaman on the bench. That's not too terrible, I guess. Then we got Wishy Washy. Got that new Wishy Washy. Once during your turn, before you attack, switch this with a Wishy Washy GX. So it's cool. Then we got Wishy Washy GX. Now I saw PTCG Radio make a video about this, but Wishy Washy's GX attack could be the new GX attack to use in Water Box, because you build this thing up with Aqua Patch and Max Elixir, and then you use Blue Surge. For 5 energy, you do 220, so you're going to knock a lot of stuff out. And then you move all energy from this thing to your bench Pokemon any way you like. So you can just build up your bench and then knock some down the process. So Wishy Washy GX, I really like. It's a pretty cool card. And then we got Alolan Geodude, Alolan Graveler, Alolan Golem, Heavy Bomber, 200 damage minus 30, basically 200, does 30 damage minus the amount of energy and the retreat cost of your opponent's active Pokemon. Man, it could. I'm still gonna try this out as like a cool concept because there are people that do play Floatstone. So when you got Floatstone, it's like boom. And then we got Electro Rock Wrecker. 80, flip a coin for each light on this thing, 8 times number of heads. That's actually a pretty cool attack. We got Trubbish. Then we got Garbodor. This is a really, really good card. A lot of people were talking about this. For one Psychic, it does 20 damage times the number of item cards in your opponent's discard pile. Just think about that. Most decks play a majority of items, and yeah, this card is broken. Like, it genuinely is a really, really scary card because mainly every deck runs a ton of items. So when this thing attacks them, it's like, it's just insane. This card is going to be really good. I don't know quite yet what it'll be good with, but it's a really good card. Then we got Mimikyu. Mimic, if your opponent uses an attack, excluding GX deck, use that attack as his attack. Meh. Instead of Widow's cooler because you can actually use the GX attack. Then we got Delmise, which is pretty cool. As long as this Pokemon doesn't play, each of your metal Pokemon's attacks do 10 more damage. That's nice, you know? It's good metal support, so I think it'll help metals a bit, like Mega Scizor, Cobalion, stuff like that. It's a pretty cool card. Anchor Shot, not really that good, but that ability is pretty nice to have. Plus, it's a basic, right? So you can have it, you know, without having to evolve. Then we got Tapu Lele EGX. Probably the best, like, GX in the set. Probably the best card in the set. It's got the ability Wonder Touch, which is the same thing as Jirachi's ability, Stellar Guidance. And then Energy Drive, which is the exact same as Mewtwo. And then Kapu Cure, restore all HP of 2 of your bench Pokemon. I mean, meh. But Energy Drive isn't that bad. Plus, it's a Psychic type, so you can hit Lugia. It's got no weakness either, so can't be hit by weakness. And it has a good ability. This card is really, really good. If you get these things, you need them. Like, this card is going to be very, very good to get. Then we got Gliscor. This is a cool card. Finishing Needle, 70. If your opponent's active Pokemon has no damage on it, this attack does nothing. That's fine, because you can just play it with Balloons, with Magna Secret Base. I'm actually going to try out a fun little Gliscor deck. I think it's a pretty cool card. And yeah, so we got Rockruff, another Rockruff, and then we got a brand new Align Rock GX, but it's, I forget what it's like form is. I know it's like, oh, nighttime form. I think it's its nighttime form. This thing is nice. It has the same ability as Luxray GX. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve when your Pokemon switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that are active. That's like, it's basically built in Lysander. That is not that bad at all. It's okay as a GX attacker, right? 2 for 50, 50 damage times the number of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It's like Zoroark on steroids, and then Claw Swipe, 3 for 110 is meh, even with, you know, Fighting Fury Belt, or not Belt. Choice Band and Strong Energy. It's okay, but that ability is pretty good. This card is not that bad, though. I think the other Lycanroc might be just a tad bit better, but this card is pretty good, too. We got Minor. This card is funny. Cosmo Explosion. 190 damage for 3 energy. This Pokemon is now knocked out. I mean, this thing with Carbon could be a pretty fun idea. Maybe an expanded too with like Life Dew. So I like this card. It's kind of cool. And then we got Murkrow. Honchkrow I actually sort of like too. Ravenclaw. Does 10 plus 10 more damage times the number of damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon in play. I do like this quite a bit. Again, you can use Magna Secret Base and Hoop and like cards that spread damage out. Honchkrow is a pretty good card. I mean, it's okay. I think it's pretty good. I like it. I dig it. I ship it. Then we got a new Pangoro. Nothing really to write home about. It's a cool artwork though. Kind of looks like Batman. Looks like it has like a cape on. Yeah, it looks like Batman. And then we got Metagross GX, a new GX. It's meh. It's stage 1 or stage 2, 250 HP, so it's got a lot of HP. Geotech Search is its ability. Once your turn before you attack, you may attach either a Psychic or Metal Energy from your discard pile to one of your active Pokemon. That's not too bad. And then Giga Hammer 150. This Pokemon can't use Giga Hammer during your next turn, and meh. Algorithm GX. You know, 1 energy. Search your deck for up to 5 cards and put them in your hand. Yeah, but with N in the format, it's not that good. Maybe when N rotates out, this card could be good, but for now, it's like meh. And then we got Whimsicott. Overabundance of Fuzz. Man, that's a lot of Fuzz. If the defending Pokemon's knocked out during your next turn, take 2 additional prizes. Yep. This card is cool. I think it definitely could be a good card to have in a lot of decks. Like, any deck could tech this in. Just run 1 Cottony, 1 Whimsicott, or 2 Cottony, 2 Whimsicott. It could actually be a really good card to have. Like, 2 additional prizes, so it's not like 1. So if you knock out an EX or GX, you take 4 prizes. If you knock out a Mega with Umbreon, I think you take 5 prizes. This card is just bonkers. It's bonkers. This is a pretty cool card. I like it a lot. Goomy, Sliggoo, Goodra, Power Whip. Oh, by the way, I gotta say, Sliggoo basically does like the same thing as Frogadier, but up to 2. But that's cool. Goodra, 1 energy, 20 damage, 20 your opponent's Pokemon times the number of energy attached to this Pokemon. That's not bad with Double Dragon. I mean, it's an okay card with, Sliggoo being able to get more in play. I think Goodra could be a fun rogue idea. Beat Slider, 130, switch the defending Pokemon when your opponent's best Pokemon. That's not too bad either. 3 for 130 is not that bad. I can definitely see Goodra being a fun rogue deck. Cottony, or Cast Form, not Cottony, Cast Form. Forecast. Choose up to 2 stadiums from your deck, reveal them from your hand. I mean, if you want to play this in like Rayquaza, there you go, but you're never going to do that. Then you got Pat Rat, which isn't too good. Watchog, look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, discard one of them, return the other to your opponent's deck. Disruption-wise, this could be pretty cool. I mean, Disruption, this card could actually work as like a cool Disruption card, so it'll be a fun idea, I guess. Then we got Talonflame, got a new Talonflame. Not as good as the other one, but hey, this one's not too good, but not too bad. Arrow Loop for DC to 90, return all energy from this Pokemon to your hand. Obviously, you can use this with Max Potion, and since you have to return a DCE, there you go. So, this card is going to be a cool card. Again, a lot of cool ideas. And then we get into the meat, the end of this. I'm just going to go over this quickly. We got Aqua Patch. This is a really good card. It's basically Dark Patch for water types, and this is just OP. It's going to make Aqua Box even deadlier. This card is just insane. Rescue Stretcher. Choose 1 Pokemon from your discard pile, put in your hand, or choose 3 Pokemon and shuffle them in your deck. It's okay. It'll definitely replace Buddy Buddy Rescue for Gyarados. Then we got Mallow. Choose 2 cards from your deck, shuffle the rest in your deck, put the other cards in your deck in any order. Start of the game, this card could actually be pretty good, right? So there you go. Hilltop Stream, my boy Hilltop from Walking Dead. Once during his or her turn, oh my god, I couldn't stop for a sec. I'm talking so much, my voice is just dying. Each player may search his or her deck for a water or fighting basic Pokemon and put it onto his bench. Matt? I mean, you can get Regirock in play, but that's about it. And then we got all these full arts. I think this one is the coolest one of them all. Like, look at how cool this full art looks for Lycanroc. And yeah, we can look at the secret rares. Once we get past the rainbow rares, boom, secret rare Enhanced Hammer. I hate Enhanced Hammer. This card is a disease. It is annoying. It's one of the most annoying cards ever, but they had to make a secret rare just to troll me. They were probably like, they'll probably like, yo, Little Dark Fury, I know you don't like Enhanced Hammer, so let's reprint Enhanced Hammer, but make it a secret rare too. It's like, why you do this to me, Pokemon? Why do you troll me like this? And then we got a secret Aqua Patch, which, thank God, man, this is just, I'm glad they made a secret rare of this card. And then we got a secret Fight Energy, which is pretty cool, so there you go. That is the set review. Link will be down in the description below to the article. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.